Again, good afternoon, and again, welcome everyone. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating and coming and be together and practicing, thinking of all living beings, and then practicing is very wonderful, and also reflecting on the teaching, and all this is according to the teachings of the great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni. And all the great masters, it is really good. So we're doing good. Good. So I'm very happy and I'm very thankful. And again, I'm going to talk briefly about the teachings on the Jigdral Dongyal Rinpoche. And as we continue going on this, and you can open this booklet or this flyers, of course, we do page. Again, before we begin the teaching, we always correct our motivation. The good motivation of the positive, good motivation, beautiful motivation. That again means we have many motivations. So among that, we're going to raise up the good motivation, and which is joy and appreciation and bodhicitta and purity, understanding or realization of the Vajrayana teachings. Those are foundation of the practices. Those are the central column of the practices. When we achieve that, exactly what we're thinking, when we got that, then we are known as enlightenment, Buddhahood. So it is really everything. Whole practice of the Buddha teaching is based upon this good motivation. That is what we are really revealing by the teaching of the Buddha. So, for that reason, we should not forget or ignore the basic essential goodness, and so reactivate it. With this, then we will go on the teaching. And the teaching, as we are going slowly and in little details and reminding to each of us of this, the what gracious great master, His Holiness taught. So we really, His Holiness Jigdral Dongyal, what we taught. He taught, so we're following that. That and here, today we are in the fifth line of this same, and we discussed all those resolving from the oneself, from the ocean of samsaric sufferings. Those are all we discussed. That, and of course you all know actually. And today we are in this next line. The trustee that the three jewels are the infallible source of refuges. So we go on this. We're going to explore the meaning of this line. And this is the teachings on the three jewels, and as well as how we should connect to the three jewels. Those are all the teachings, these teachings. So this is, and so now what Howard said, three jewel is what is? Three jewel is the infallible source of refuge. That is, to make that as infallible source of refuge, how we should trust. Trusting, confidence. So there is highlighted 3 points of this line. Three jewel is the ultimate source or object of refuge. And then how we should to explore, how we should make that as happen with our trust, with our confidence. That is what really this teaching is. So this is also another one. This is the teachings on the refuge. Refuge is the foundation of the entire Buddha teaching or the practices. Refuge is also one way in what Buddha gave the teaching. All the teachings what we're talking about over 45 years, Buddha gave teachings. Those all teaching can be summarized into 3 categories, as we all know. Vinaya, Sutra, and Abhidhamma. the essence or the meaning of those three teachings, principal teachings, is teachings on the moralities, teachings on the concentrations, teachings on the wisdoms. That is what is. In order to reach or get enlightenment, in order to discover our beautiful nature, the Buddha nature, we need these three principal teachings. We need morality, we need concentrations, we need wisdoms. Why is this? Because we need morality or ethics. Our present ethics is very irregularity, very wild, and not beneficial, and also not practical, not simple. So therefore, we have to have beautiful ethic. This ethic is also lined up with our nature of the mind. It's lined up with our joy, respect, appreciation, contentment, and then loving kindness. This is lined up that. So, therefore, this ethic is morality is so important. Refuge is also, in other words, it is the foundation of the moralities. Refuges. When we take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, what it will bring us? It will bring calm. Calm means to the mind. Bring calm and peace to the mind. We need to bring the calm and the peace to the mind. What it does, immediately it will reflect to our verbal communication, verbal talks. It also will bring more gentle, more polite, more soft, more respect for speech or communications. And that will also reflect the same thing to the physical. Our activity of the physical will be more calmer, more peaceful, more gentle. So therefore, this morality is so important. What in the teaching said, morality is the foundation. Foundation as like everything. And base all our realization of the enlightenment and the development of enlightenment, growth of enlightenment is based upon the morality. Yes, morality is like ground, morality is like earth. Earth. And earth is the best of everyone. One. Those are the teaching always said, of course it's true. Whether we move or whether we don't move, earth is the best of everything. And movable and unmovable. So best is earth. Similarly, this morality is a ground of every realization and fulfillment and spiritual growth. And therefore, refuge is the central column of the morality. And for that reason, in the teaching says, that without a refuge, you will not have vows. So that means, without a refuge, we will not have the Patti Moksha vows, we will not have the Bodhisattva vows, and we will not have the vows of the Vajrayana vows. All teaching. And also that also means without the moral of refuge, we will not have the empowerment, transmissions, all this. So therefore, this is really the foundation. Foundation, and at the same time, refuge is the first step toward enlightenment. Now, how long we been in samsara? According to gracious teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching, we've been in the samsara so long. There is even no numbers, numberless means. But when we take refuge, we are determined to changing the direction of our samsara situation. We're not going to go continually as a roller coaster or rolling the boulder from the hill going continually moving. No, we like to put the stop. We're going to put the set the direction to our own destination of the future. From now on, refuge is the beginning of that direction, beginning of putting the brakes to our own, brakes to the car. That is what really the refuge is. And as I said, refuge is also we are stepping to the border of the nirvanas. Refuge is the way I enter in the path. As great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said, path to truth. We are now really begin the journey in the path to the path to truth. Is the beginning of the path to truth. And this is what we began. This journey, this path is not difficult or hardship or changing something our lifestyles. It's only we're setting up with the love, kindness, compassion, more concentrations, and moving forward with mindfulness. It is beautiful. It is special. Special because it benefits to us and as well as our one's own self, as well as others, such as our friends, family members, all that. So that is what really refuge is. It's so important. Refuge is not just we take refuge one time and then kind of forget. But we will take continually refuge until we get enlightenment, until we become the Buddha. Refuge is our walking sticks, or the vehicle that we really move continually. We move that continually and carry that and always keep that. And how are we going to keep that? With the courage, commitment, confidence, as his own Dudjom Rinpoche or Dudjom Rinpoche pointed out here, trust us. With trust, we move that. So this is the general kind of explanation, overview of this refuge and the three jewels. Now I talk really about the three jewels. Three jewels in the Sanskrit word, three ratna, three ratnas. And it translated in Tibet by ancient those great emanated translators in the 8th century, Khenpo Tsewang. Khenpo Tsewang means, what means? It's simply translated three jewels. But Khenpo Tsewang is more than three jewels. What in the Tibetan word Kon means? The rare. R-A-R-E, rare. And Cho means supreme. It's not supreme. So this is not just the regular jewels. It's a supreme rare jewel. Rare jewel. And it's just an example, only example. This jewel won't carry all the quality of the three jewels. Jewels, it don't have, but it just use examples. It's more than that. Three jewel is. Three jewel is loving kindness. Three jewel is compassion. Three jewel is wisdom. Three jewel is respecting the appreciations to all the living beings without any discriminations. And that three jewel is love and kindness and compassion forever for all the sentient beings. It's not limited by the times and the spaces. And granting all the wishes of the joy, appreciation, peace, happiness, confidence, support, protections. That's what really three jewel is. When when connected to these three jewels, satisfactions, contentments, and it's fulfilling the full wish. Is therefore this is called rare and supreme, the jewel. And how many there? There's 3. And what those we all know, but I'm going to list again. And the chanting names of the in Buddhism of the 3 jewels is considering very sacred words. Sacred. So, how it's in his teaching said, of course, you all know. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. So Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas are the 3 rare supreme ones. All 3 jewels. So that is really the word meaning of the 3 jewels. And now I talk really again about the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, each of those. A little bit of that. What is really means the Buddhas? And how many years Buddhas generally? Generally, if we're speaking about the Buddhas, they according the gracious kindness, great compassion as teacher, Buddha said, there is so many Buddhas. Buddhas in the east directions, Buddhas in the south directions, Buddhas in the west directions, Buddhas in the north directions, Buddhas in upper, above us, Buddhas below the earth, lower us or below the earth, lower directions. There's so many. Those are known as 6 directions in the Buddhism, 6 cardinal directions in the teaching set. Not just only 4 cardinals and 4 directions of the 4 directions and 4 cardinal directions. And then plus all cardinal directions. There's so many Buddhas. There's also in the accord of Buddha's teaching, there's so many universes in every directions. Or another word, maybe I use world. There's so many worlds in every directions. This is not isolated, single, lonely universe where we live. There's so many. Numberless. Also, even in the teaching said, numberless. Numberless universe in every directions. And there are those different directions. There is then so many enlightened beings. So those all are known as the Buddhas. So, but particularly this time of the Buddha, or this era of the Buddha in this world, or our universe, whatever we call, in this world, is known as renowned Buddha, Buddha Shakyamuni, which is the founder of the Buddhism. Or he is the first great masters of this time. And why I'm saying this time? There is also before that Buddha Shakyamuni, there is many Buddha came in this very world. And there will be also many Buddha is going to come in the future. This Buddha, which I'm talking about, the Buddha Shakyamuni, will come so many. In fact, we all know there is 1,000 Buddha is planning to come or scheduled to come in this world. Among that, 3 have gone long time ago, the 4th came, and still his teachings are remain, such as Buddha Shakyamuni. So that means how many to come? 996. 996 Buddha to come. 996 to Buddha to come. Come. So this is the 4th Buddha. 3 Buddha went before Buddha Shakyamuni, and this is the 4th Buddha, Buddha Shakyamuni. Now that's the journey about the Buddhas. But what Buddha means? What a Buddha? If I say simply, Buddhas are free from all the negativities and obscurations. And obscurations, what that means? Dualities, grasping, clingings, negative emotions, as we were talking the other day, such as cause of suffering too, those negative emotions, ignorance, attachment, anger, jealous, arrogance, self-important, self-centered mind, all those all gone, all purified, all gone. So what is now Buddha is? The full of love, full of compassion, full of wisdom. There's nothing higher, deeper you can grow love and compassion and wisdom. That is the Buddha what they gain. Buddha gained that. I mean, there is nothing higher to go. The realization level, there is nothing higher to go. That means realization, I'm talking about loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. The ultimate state they achieved, or they attain. And obscuration and negativity level, everything is removed, purified. Even the habitual pattern or the stain, the smell of the negativity is gone. Smell of the fragrance or whatever is gone completely. That the beauty, that embodiment, loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, that is really known as Buddhas. So that is really Buddha. So this is not just one Buddha. All the Buddhas are similar, same realization status. Now, when they reach that status, what is? Then what they do? What they will do? According to the teaching, then they continually benefit for all the living beings. For all the living beings. Until they reach enlightenment. What that also means, according to Buddha's teaching, that every living being inherited same nature or same potential or same quality than the Buddha themselves. There is no difference. That means these Buddhas once upon a time as regular ordinary beings, ordinary individuals, as many of us, like that. But because of their courage, commitment, determination, and to preserving the loving kindness and compassion, and purifying all the negative emotions, then they become the Buddha. So every living being has the same opportunities, same potentials, same status. Everyone can reach that same status if they work for that enlightenment. So once you reach to enlightenment of Buddhahood, these Buddhas are beginning to help to all the sentient beings according to their capabilities, according to their readiness, gently, peacefully, very respectfully, very cooperative level, they are helping in a sporting, ushering everyone to the path to the enlightenment or path to the nirvana. That is what these all Buddhas are. So to explain of these Buddhas, how in the teaching said, and in 3 different ways that I'm going to explain a little bit about the Buddhas. And first is their forms. Second is their wisdoms. Third is their activities. So there is these 3. We go through, explore the glimpse of the quality of these great beings. And the first is their bodies. Bodies is known as in Sanskrit word, kayas. Kaya. Kaya is Sanskrit word, but also Kaya is base of the base. B-A-S-E, I think base. What means base? Because wisdom and activity, Buddhas are based on the Kaya in a way. So therefore, it is known as the base. And how in Tibet it says, Temba Ko, Tin Yeshe, and in Japan, this is the called three word. It's best. It's the best. So what means the body? It's Sanskrit Kaya. And how many Kayas? Generally summarize the Kayas. The 4 Kayas. That is kind of sometimes also mentioned 5 Kayas. But 4 Kayas. And those are popular that we all know. No. Such as Dharmakaya Buddha, Sambhokaya, Nirmakaya, and Swabhavakayas. Those are the 4 Kayas. So that is really the Kaya. And Kaya, I translated Kaya as body. Or it can be forms too. F-O-R-M. So those are the Dharmakaya, Sambhokaya, and then Nirmakaya, and then the Swabhavakayas. Or sometimes also translate, as Sanskrit mentioned, Dharmatakayas. Whether Dharmatakaya, Swabhavakaya is similar. And in Tibet, it is translated by ancient time, those great eminent translators in the 8th century, Chuko, Lungko, Turko, and Ngo Nyekos. Those are the 4 Kayas. These 4 Kayas are, even though there's 4 Kayas, but they're the same nature. Same nature. What that means? They're the loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, that embodiment. This they are. Whether it is Swabhavakaya, whether this is Dharmakaya, and whether this is the Sambhokaya, and whether that is Namakaya. Those are all known as the Buddhas or the 4 Kayas. And now I'm going to stop here for today, and then we will continue. Okay? Thank you very much, everyone. And that's my brief reminding of what His Holiness teachings taught. So trying to explore His Holiness Jagdral Rinpoche taught, and then we continually, of course, go continually doing this and practicing and dedicating this merit for all the living beings, particularly this time is really just so kind of like tense and so terrible situations happening around the world in the globe. And it's just really, that's what we can do, is just a kind of igniting our good heart and good motivation as taught by the great teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni and Guru Padma Samye Ling, and to do our kind of that contribution toward this difficult time is, I think, something really we can do. And please, we will think that even during the meditating and then healing practices, we all are going to do this, and just really thinking to purify these sufferings, the difficulty, troubles, challenges. But this is just a reminder. It's just a reminder to us. Generally, samsara has so many difficulties, troubles, it just goes on and on. For that reason, what great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni and all those great masters taught, may all living beings have the happiness, the cause of happiness. May all living beings free from suffering and the cause of sufferings. May all living beings have always have the supreme happiness, which is never separated from the sufferings. May they always remain great equanimities. To the close ones, and as well as to the distant ones. Equanimity. I mean, that's really so powerful, so to the heart, and also so down to the earth. Simple, yet powerful prayers we should pray these things too, along with our healing practice, thinking of those all morning, evening, and dedicating this our merits to all the living beings who are sick, who are like process sick, who passed away, or who is having difficulty, troubles, whatever experiences. Really do this. That is not an activity of the bodhisattvas. When we are following the footsteps of the our Lokadeshwara, Manjushri, Vajrapani, and Buddha Shakyamuni, Guru Padma Sambhava, Tara, and all the great enlightened beings, we really following that. It is a great to everyone. So good. And okay, just since I'm talking to you all, and of course you all know these things, we all know kind of these things, but just really activated is so wonderful, and thank you again. Thank you very much for participating, and now we do short meditation.